This conference will now be recorded.
So thank you for joining this demo at this late hour. So I'll make sure that whatever the information you are expecting in this demo, I'll make sure that you'll be getting that, and I'll also make sure that you understand what.
Sir, please share the screen, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Sir, open the course content in VLR Training, sir.
Yes.
If anyone is interested, please register in this site. You have the registration form is there here. Please continue, sir.
Yes. Okay. So first, let me introduce myself. I'm Jaivelu Balaji. I work as a software developer. Initially, I started my career as a software developer, and then I slowly moved into data analytics, and then to data science. I mean, as you guys know, let me explain you data analytics, and then I slowly transformed my career to data science, machine learning, as the data science and machine learning. So right now, I work in developing some software products for banks here. I work in a product-based company, and also I completed my master's in computer science here in US. So currently I'm working in Indianapolis, which is in Indiana State. Okay, so I would be the instructor for this course, data structures and algorithms. So the main purpose of this course would be, making you to understand all the essential data structures that are required to develop a software, efficient software. So we'll be discussing about the runtimes of different algorithms, and we'll also understand what is a runtime, how to determine a runtime for an algorithm, or how to determine a runtime for the code that you're writing, how to efficiently write and optimize the code with less runtime. So in order to write an optimized code, we need to use different best data structures, which are like best suited for your application. So this course will also be an introduction to your to understand all the basic data structures, and the main focus in this course would be like cracking the technical interview in big companies like Facebook, Google, and Amazon. So first we'll discuss about the data structure and the algorithm and different type of questions that are being asked on the algorithms. For example, let's say we are discussing about the stacks. So after discussing about the stacks, we will see what are the different type of questions that are being asked in and around the stack. See, whenever I say in and around, so that means you will not be asked a direct question on the stack. Instead, you'll be asked a question which uses the stack. So there are multiple ways of solving a problem. As all you know, there are multiple ways of solving a problem. So whenever you are trying to target and big companies, Facebook, Google, and Amazon, whatever it is, so what they definitely look into your approach is that the best way that you are writing, like the best approach you are taking to solve that problem. So there might be an approach where you solve the problem with an with O of n. We call it as O of n. That is nothing but, for example, let's say you are searching for an item in an array. Okay, to search an item, you can traverse the entire array. That is one way, and the best way of doing that would be by using a binary search, which gives you an half of, which makes your algorithm, which makes your code to run half the time compared to the your iteration, like the searching the entire array. So this is what they are looking into. This is what they are looking. like the best way that you are solving the problem, the best data structures you are using, because they don't want to reinvent the wheel for like, you know, they don't want you to like again invent one more an algorithm which can do the task which is already been used for decades, right? So you have to be very much confident, as well as you should be very much thorough in this data structures and algorithms if you are concentrating on big companies. So here we will discuss about different techniques, like different techniques. There are lots of techniques where these techniques are not only used to solve one particular problem. We group lots of problems together under one concept, and then we try to teach an approach where you can solve um, many problems using that same approach. And definitely we also make sure that you are very much prepared for all the interviews that you are going to face on this data structures and algorithms. So again, we are going to also look into one more section called a system design, which is essential, which is like one of the important part in your technical interview. So here, what they are going to test is that they're not going to see your coding skills in this round. They're going to see whether you are able to design a system which is highly scalable and highly distributed. So to make a system highly scalable and highly distributed, what is required? You need an sufficient knowledge on how to shard a database, sharding a database, or you should know how to apply different databases like for your particular application. For example, the white column store, the NoSQL, where to use the NoSQL. You should know how to use the NoSQL, where to use the NoSQL in order to make the application scalable. So we'll be discussing about horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, all these techniques, and also we'll be discussing about the other system design approaches. So end of this system design section, what we are going to achieve is that we'll be achieving a generic template. So if we are asked for to design an WhatsApp or Netflix or YouTube, whatever the system it might be. So first, what we are going to do is that we will first declare a template, which is which is going to be a generic template, and up on top of it, what we are going to do is that we will be making it more. Um, I mean, we are going to stitch it to our application. Like, for example, if you're asked to declare and if you're asked to design a WhatsApp system, so in the generic template, how can you modify few concepts, and then we can build an WhatsApp or Netflix. So that is what we are going to do for system design. So I've made different sections of system design. So the basic idea behind design, I mean, splitting the system design into multiple parts is that we should know the concepts. That is what we are more interested in. You should know the concepts of system design, how to make an highly scalable system, what are the different concepts that are associated with it. That is what we are looking into. And I've also given some of the best algorithms that you should know, that is binary search, recursion, and backtracking. These are the basic concepts that you should be well thorough of when you're trying to crack an interview. So here again, system design. This is all about the databases and storage. We'll discuss in detail about NoSQL and how actually many of us know how SQL, I mean, how to retrieve a data from SQL, how to insert into data, insert a data, update a data. But we'll be discussing about what is indexing in SQL, and how actually indexing works. So where how the records are put into the main memory. That is what we are going to discuss. So this system design approach is going to be like throwing a light on most of your applications that you are using. So that is what companies are also looking. They don't want people who can simply use the application. They want the people who can understand how the application works. That is what they are looking into. And as you see, you can see queues, dynamic programming, and again here it is arrays and strings. So if you're for example, if you're applying for Facebook, most of the data what you're going to handle is going to be string. Right, so your knowledge will be tested here, how you are handling the strings. So most of the Facebook questions are around strings, and believe me, not only Facebook, even Google also concentrates more on strings. So strings looks very simple, but whenever you are trying to solve some of the interview questions, they are definitely tough. So here what we are trying, what you have to do, what the commitment you have to give to this course is that, so after completing each and every concept, so we are going to hand over a set of questions on that. See here in the class, I'll be covering some of the most frequently asked questions that I will cover in the class. And asked questions, that is like, even if it is asked for one time, I'll give it to you as a handout. So after this class, you have to practice at least an hour in a day. Like, you have to solve those questions. If you're not able to solve those questions, bring it back, we can discuss. But this entire course is a discussion forum. It's not like simply I teach, you listen and go, and whenever you have an interview, you just sit for 10 to 12 hours, do a marathon. No, that is not going to help. Here, big companies are not for marathon runners. These big companies are for sprint runners who every day dedicatedly sit for at least 1 hour, who can dedicatedly sit at least for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. If you are able to dedicatedly sit for half an hour in a day, I don't think so it's a tough thing to do, right? So these are high paid jobs. These are not simply like you just get 25K or 30K per month. These are highly paid jobs that you have to always remember. This does not come easily. This requires more practice. This requires more hard work. This requires definitely your dedication and commitment, right? So again, so graphs. So coming to here, I think here again you can see all the contents here. System design contents. So what is distributed file system design? What is map reduce? How it works? System design um, is not like technical kind of thing. It's a more over a concept oriented thing. It's more about we discuss about the concepts and we design the systems. We don't code. For example, to design a WhatsApp, we don't code WhatsApp. We don't technically write a program to design WhatsApp. Just declare how it theoretically works. See here, what is expected is that you should think like an architect. Architect doesn't code in companies, right? He just architects the solution. That is what they are looking into. They want people who can get into who can get into the architect level. Okay, and moreover, here the most important concept, DFS and BFS. So definitely one round will be on DFS and BFS. No doubt in that. Definitely one round. If you are having 3 or 4 rounds, whether it is Amazon, Facebook, Google, whatever it is, one round will be on DFS and BFS. So that might be like printing your binary tree in zigzag level, or like counting number of islands, or even whatever. Let's say there are lots of different interview questions, whatever it is. So one round would be on DFS and BFS. So we would be exclusively targeting this DFS and BFS approaches and heap implementations. So how to implement? See, everything we'll implement first, and then we'll discuss about the interview questions. I'll solve the most frequently asked questions, so that makes sure that you are ready for the interview. Like most frequently asked questions, you will be ready on that. and asked questions, definitely you have to prepare. I'll give you a handout after each and every concept, or even before I start in concept. Like for example, before I start an heap, I'll hand it over and ask the questions on the heap, so that after, I mean, meanwhile I'm going through the class, you can also like solve the questions in parallel. And moreover, like whenever I'm trying to solve the question, so it will be a highly interactive session. I definitely want all of you guys to answer me as well as to discuss with me. Please do not, because this is all about the discussion. This is not like just, okay, let's say I'm teaching something and you guys are expecting me to solve the entire problem. You just simply listen to that. No, that is not going to work. We have to discuss with everyone, and we have to know different ideologies. As I told you, there are n number of ways. For example, I'm solving a problem in one way, and if you have a different approach which solves in better runtime, definitely you have to, that definitely, you know, it will be an add-on to everyone. So that if you discuss with me or discuss among us, you will definitely, there is no need for you to again go and prepare during your interview, because before the day of the interview, definitely you guys have to take some, you should not prepare hard, you should have some rest. So to achieve that, that you have to, you know, you have to be proactive while in the during the class sessions as well as after the class session. You have to be proactive so that you will be confident. So these are the different algorithms, selection algorithm and sorting algorithms we'll be discussing, and graph to detecting the cycles. As I told you, like, you know, detecting the cycles also is one of the DFS and BFS approaches. Using those approaches, we'll be detecting the cycle. So and also, see, most of us, we know, for example, we know binary search tree, how it works, and we do not know where it is actually implemented in the real world application, right? So if you know where it is in the real world, where it is applied, where it is like being used, so definitely you will have more interest, more enthusiasm. So because you know why the enthusiasm is, because you'll know, you'll understand how to apply it in the real world application, how to apply it when you're coding, right? So we'll also try to solve those things. Like we also try to understand where it is being applied. For example, detecting the cycle. So detecting the cycle is nothing but, you know, you are doing a web scraping application. Web scraping is nothing but you are web crawling, like from one website to other website. You're crawling it, okay? So whenever you are trying to crawl from one website to other website, there might be a case where the other website, for example, there is a website. You are trying to read a website and reading a URL from a website. So let's say that is B, okay? And in the B website, again there is a link for a website. So what happens? This becomes a loop. So our application will be revolving around this, right? From A to B, B to A to B, B to A. So this is called a cycle. We have to detect the cycle. If it is a cycle, then we have to uh, write necessary algorithm, write necessary steps in order to avoid our application to run in this loop, right? So that is what we are going to discuss. What is this is a simple real world application. I've told you as an example, right? This kind of real world examples we'll be discussing throughout the class, and we'll solve this. And these are the bit manipulations. So like flipping the bits and what kind of questions that are being asked on the bit manipulation, everything. Then, as you know, binary trees, binary search trees, and it is a trie. So trie is a data structure which is being used on auto completion text. Like whenever you type something, auto completions are happening, right? So trie is the basic data structure for making that happen that easily, right? The other one, as I told you initially, system design. So we'll try to make a template system design approach. That is nothing but whatever being asked, first you try to draw a system, you try to make a template, and then from there you just try to make some adjustments to the template, and then you try to project your design to your interviewer, right? So what, and moreover in system design, it's just not you make a system, you just make a system. So for example, If your interviewer is asking to design a WhatsApp, it's not simply you design a WhatsApp system and then show him. It's not like that. They also look into the type of questions you are putting on them. Like, for example, they ask you for WhatsApp. So first question what you have to put is that how many users are going to use the system, and what are the type of files that I can share? Is this a chat, or can I share food? Do you want the system to share photos, videos, or etc. etc. What do you want? So the system, I mean, you can also ask like whether this system can make video calls or calls, and WhatsApp doesn't have a database, so you can also ask like whether the system should need a database, or you want this is as a database-less system. Without database, you want me to design. So all these kind of questions you have to put, and you have to make it. You have to put some really worth questions. That is one more important thing they are looking into. So I hope I've covered all the topics that we are going to discuss in the further classes. So now I'll give you an opportunity to ask all your questions so that I can answer. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Navina.
Yes, Jay. Thank you so much. That was very helpful and very clear. The clarity is a lot of clarity in the topics you've explained and what to look for, right? So that's very nice. My question is, what kind of prerequisite do we need, for people who are not software engineers, but can they cope up with or do we need any kind of a prerequisite?
Mhm. Okay. So the only prerequisite that you have to have is that you should know a programming language. So this course would be focusing, implementing all these algorithms in Python. So you should know Python. You should definitely know Python in order to do this course. So
Okay.
don't worry, we have some Python videos. Python videos. Moreover, it is simple language, right? So why we are focusing more on, why we are giving this course in Python is just because Python is easy to implement. You'll be given, for example, in a technical round, each round would be of, let's say, each round would, there are four technical rounds. Usually there will be four technical rounds, three technical round, and one system design approach. So behavioral would be a mix. So every round will have a behavioral. So in 1 hour, if you're trying to solve a problem, say if you're an expert in Java or if you're an expert in C++, whatever it is, that's fine. You can implement all this algorithm, but Python would be simple to implement. You'll save a lot of time. That is that is why I'm focusing more on Python.
Okay. Okay. What if yeah, I mean, those who are interested in this, but they are mostly an architect, right? They don't code, but they're interested in this part of it. So, is it something you will give some pre-training in programming languages and then Python and then take it here, or is that a separate thing?
So Python, it's a separate thing because here this course would be more focusing on the algorithm part. So what we can do is that we have some Python training videos. Okay, it's self-paced. So you can definitely take those self-paced videos and you can go through it. So moreover, this is a concept oriented. These are like concepts, right? For example, stack is a concept. Q is a concept. So moreover, I'll be detailedly discussing about whenever, for example, whenever I'm implementing the stack, so I'll be implementing using list. I'll be implementing the stack using list. I'll definitely tell you what list is, and I'll get from there. So that would be my approach. And moreover, you can get some self-paced training videos in Python, and you can definitely cope up. So there should not be any problem whenever you're trying to understand these concepts.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So and just to add to your question, so this would not be like, you know, giving complete training on Python first and then going there. So it would be like a mix. Like I'll just try to teach you a concept, and then whenever I'm implementing it, I'll definitely tell
Correct.
you what is what, and then I'll try to implement it.
Correct. And my next question is, how many weeks is this course? And also regarding the curriculum part of it, right? How many do you have, like, kind of like how many questions or problems we will be trying to solve, exercises, right? Any number of
Mm.
exercises, any
Mm.
specific things around those exercises?
Yes. So this training would last for 1 month. Okay, and system design will be conducted on Saturdays and Sundays. System design, because whatever the system design sections you are seeing, that would be conducted only on Saturdays and Sundays. So on weekdays, we'll be mainly focusing on how to write and how to implement this, and trying to solve the interview questions. So this entire course would last for 1 month, and then the the other question what you asked, like the most frequently asked questions, there are like some 100 to 80 to 100. So we'll be solving those 80 to 100 most frequently asked questions. And definitely I'm telling you, this 80 to 100 questions you definitely can expect in one. I mean, you can definitely solve one round directly. For example, if
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you what most frequently asked questions, so definitely you'll be asked one round entirely on those questions. So remaining 3 rounds would be like, you know, it would be like a wrap up. For example, we are trying to solve, let's say I solved a problem called as like, you know, detecting number of islands in a 2D array. So probably you might be asked the same, you might be asked a different problem on the same approach. You might be asked, like, you know, print number of connections. Like in LinkedIn, you see like first connection, second connection, third connection, right? So you probably might be asked similar kind of question, which can be solved using the approach whatever we had discussed in the class.
Right.
Okay. Is it okay, Ganesh? Is it okay that object-oriented programming known person to continue to this course? Yes, definitely. Object-oriented programming, definitely. It's a object-oriented programming. You mean like the classes, such kind of thing, or okay, sorry, I got your question. So programming, I'm just thinking as object-oriented design. Okay, fine. Object-oriented programming, yes. Definitely, object-oriented programming is one of the important thing, right? So you solve this using any programming like classes. Yeah, yes, yes, definitely yes. And more, I would like to add more to your question, that object-oriented programming is definitely a plus, and you should. I mean, if you're applying for like senior SD roles, I mean, sorry, for a fresher role, definitely they will also look into that for fresher role. For senior roles, so people who are like more than 5+ years of work experience, they probably, you know, look more into your system design and the approach, like Navina asked. So yes, if you have more experience, if you have experience more than 5 years, definitely they look into your approaches, and you should write a clean, concise code. That is also one more important thing they look into. So any other questions?
Yes, Jay, I have more. The thing is, what is the timings and how much does the course, what is the course cost?
So the course cost and timings of the course still not yet decided. Depends on the audience. Like, you know, if more people are convenient in one time, I mean, like in the mornings or in the evenings. So it is like much flexible. Timings would be much flexible. We consider each
Okay.
and everyone who in the course. And depending and coming to the course fee, you should discuss this with Venkat, like the number that you are saying here, right?
Okay.
I think. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah. Can you see this? Right.
Okay.
So there's a number you can definitely talk to him regarding
I mean,
the course.
we need to reach out through him to you, or we can directly reach out to you. Is it?
No, you can reach out through him because I'm delivering this course through VLR Training Institutes. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
so you can.
So this is from India, but you're in US, right? Is that the case?
Yes, that's the case. Correct.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
So any other questions? You can ask me any question. Like for example, if you've already faced an interview, also you can just ask me like how to do that. Like those kind of questions also you can ask. We have already faced some interviews where I mean, probably you might have faced some difficulties on that. So you probably can make use of this session. Any other questions? If you have any inputs, you are also free to give your inputs. If you have any inputs on this course, like for example, if you're trying to you're expecting something on this course, and you can also give your advices on that, so that we can include this. Any other questions?
Yeah, we're just thinking on the course curriculum. Is it what you're showing is just that, or anything else? That's what we're just thinking.
So anything else means what? Like, are you
Like
expecting?
heaps, or red black trees, or all those kind of different trees.
Oh, okay. So okay,
Arrays. I think you're like the curriculum part of it, right?
you're talking about behavioral trees, black trees, such kind of concepts.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'll tell you on that. See, I mean, 100% of the companies, they don't test you on AVL trees and other trees. Let's say they don't test you on that. Okay, first thing. So binary search trees itself is very, very much sufficient, and moreover, you need to know how to navigate those binary trees. That is what you'll be like completely tested on. So I'm 100% sure you will never be tested on AVL trees or black trees, whatever it is, that you will never be tested on that. So that's the reason why I've just did not mention those things. Okay. For example, if you feel like you want some concept like AVL tree, let's say 99.99% will not be asked for any. I mean, probably like there's an error region in everything. So probably in that error region, if you're asked on AVL trees, if you have already asked, definitely just let me know so that we can discuss those on Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, this course, whatever the curriculum you are seeing, we will be concentrating only on these questions during the weekdays. On weekends, probably on Saturday and Sunday, or only on Saturdays, depending on the students, whatever their free time is. Depending on that, we'll discuss those on weekends. Okay.
And what kind of algorithms you will be teaching?
You mean what algorithms in sense like
Different
what?
algorithms, right? Data structures and algorithms.
So
You said like
the algorithm, yes, the
there
algorithms
there are
already, I've
yeah
already listed, for example, Cadence algorithm and so sliding window. See, here our approach would be um, more focusing on algorithms that are used to clear the interview part,
correct. I mean,
clearing those
one
big interview. I mean, big interviews, cracking those big interview parts. So
like
we'll be
sorting and
using those.
sorting technique. Yeah. What I was saying is when I said the algorithms part of it, right? I was just saying like analysis or sorting and searching techniques, divide and conquer. There are so many other algorithms, right? The
Yes,
basic
yes. We'll be discussing all
backtrack,
those. Divide and conquer. So whenever we are trying to discuss about the recursion part of it, we'll be discussing all those algorithms like divide and conquer, all those. So
Okay.
this course will definitely equip you with all the efficient algorithms and all the algorithms that a big company will expect from you. No doubt in that. We can
Okay.
definitely rely on.
So yeah. So when we take up your course, we should
Mhm.
be at least, I mean, apart from our hard work and everything, we should be pretty much ready for the cracking any kind of big interviews, right? Let's say I have the
Yes, that is
foundations. Yeah.
that is the main motto of this course.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. That's very good.
That is the main motto. I mean, see, whatever we are learning, definitely the only the biggest aim is that the only motto is that to earn more, right? So and
Correct.
more about to earn in an big MNC. So working in Google, working in Amazon, or working in Netflix is the ultimate dream of any software engineer, right? Because you will be working on more enthusiastic platforms and more futuristic technologies. So this course mainly targets and mainly helps you. This course will help you to reach you there, will get you there. Okay, and rest
Okay.
is your heart. Rest
But
is
only
definitely.
question is, there's in reality, right? See, we're all working, we're all in the industry for so many years.
Correct.
In reality, there's so many people, they spend like 2 years, right?
Correct.
They're into computational programming, they're into so many other things, right? They
Mhm.
do, this Kaggle competitions, so and so, so many things, right? They're trying to do whatever and possible for them.
Mhm.
So my question is, like, we just doing 1 month, how is it sufficient, right, to crack into such?
Yes. So definitely, it's a good question. So in 1 month, you are not trying to crack the interview. In 1 month, you are trying to understand the essential concepts for cracking the interview. To crack the
Mhm.
interview, you practice is must. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
after teaching one concept, for example, after teaching the stack, okay, I'll be giving you some handed problems. Or whatever the problems that are being asked in and around stack, I'll be giving you. Definitely will not be able to solve those questions in a day or in a two. Okay, we'll be taking some time, like 3 days or 4 days, whatever it is, depending on your schedule. So definitely all I think like most of the people who are here are working professionals, or probably you might have different commitments. So after committing an hour from your day for this class and then practicing these questions is, I think that probably might be a challenge. So what I'm expecting is that you probably can dedicate at least half an hour for your practice. Okay, so half an hour for a practice. So definitely it will take at least 2 months for you to crack those interviews. 2 months of your practice, and 1 month you will be learning all these concepts. Practicing is different, right? So you will be learning these concepts. You have to practice it in order to make it, like cracking those interviews. Lavina, is it? Um, Did I answer your question? Like, hello.
She is speaking on mute, maybe.
Okay. So any other questions? So, okay, let me ask you this. So how many of you are trying for those big companies? You can just simply message me.
So last month I tried for Facebook as a data engineer.
Okay. So what kind of, so probably you might have been
So
asked
for me,
around.
they asked a lot of SQL questions for the initial round. And later they asked me a couple of linked list questions and BST.
You know why
and
they ask for linked
also
list? You know why you have been tested on linked list?
why they have asked me for linked list?
Yes.
I don't know why, but I just learned the concept how these things works and all.
I'll tell you why you have been asked on linked list. Okay. So linked list are mainly used to implement those caches, distributed caching. Facebook mainly works on distributed caching, right? For example, whenever you're trying to open an app, okay, so whatever the information in the cache, you'll see them, right? First, you will be delivered from there. So cache is implemented on the linked list. So that's the reason why you are being tested on linked list. Okay. So whenever you're trying to apply, whenever you, for example, you got an interview from Amazon, so you'll be definitely asked on DFS and BFS. Okay, because most of their applications work on DFS and BFS approach. All those applications, whatever, name anything, like you know, there are lots of applications, right? Amazon right now, it's a big empire. So all those like applications, they work on DFS and BFS. So that is what we are going to discuss. Like, you know, it's not blindly preparing like the concepts. We'll also try to see where you will be targeted. What kind of questions you'll be expecting. That is what we are trying to tell you through.
And once we solve the question, they're asking us the time complexity and space complexity, and they're asking us to is there a chance to improve more?
Correct. That is called optimization. So that is a technique. That is why we are learning all these concepts. So what is like, you know, why we use linked list for distributed caching? That is one more important thing, because deleting and inserting is one complexity.
Right.
Okay, so that's why we implement linked list on distributed caching. So all these concepts, you know, require some practical binding. The space between the practical implementation and the theoretical knowledge, we are trying to bridge those two things. When you try to bridge those two things, then all these algorithms will be very, very, very easy for you. And whenever an interviewer asks you a question, you'll be able to implement all those different algorithms, all those data structures. So any other questions? Okay. Right. So I think we are good. Probably if you have any other questions, or if you like, you know, if you have any other questions on the curriculum part of, I mean, curricular point of view, what you can do is that you can simply email all those questions to Mr. Venkat Garu. Like, you know, you can get his email address by calling him, and he'll be forwarding that email to me. And definitely, I'll reach out to you. I'll clear all those questions. I'll definitely clear all those questions as much as possible, as early as possible. Okay. Regarding the technical course point of view, like, you know, for example, you have some questions on queues. Let's say, so, I have given only 3 concepts. You want need something in detail about some point of thing, okay, technical questions, you can definitely get his email, or even I can share his email with you. Let me share that email. And moreover, please register for this course. Please register for this course using this link. There is a link here. Yeah, this is a link. I'll paste that link. Please register to this course. So this course will be offered both in English and Telugu. And if you have any other, if you want in any other language except Hindi, I'm not that fluent in Hindi, but I'm fluent in English and Telugu as well as Tamil. So I don't think so I can even teach in Tamil, but I'll definitely try, because I have some, I worked in Chennai, so I know a little bit of Tamil. So I don't see people here speak Tamil. Okay, that's fine. So you can, I've shared the link. So please bookmark this link, or try to save this link so that you anytime you can register for this course. And I'll share his email address. So if you have any other questions, you can. So this is his email ID, ramesh.vch @gmail.com. If you have any questions pertaining to the coursework, please send your questions to ramesh.vch @gmail.com. In subject, please mention data structures and algorithms so that he'll forward those emails to me and I can answer all your questions. Okay. So hope to see you guys in future, like the next demos or even the next classes. So thank you so much. Hope I've tried to I tried to clear all your questions and doubts. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.